Today I fucked up by agreeing to letting my boyfriend troll another woman when I was high. So, for backstory 2, almost 3 years ago my boyfriend almost cheated on me, but I still considered it cheating, but it didn't get past sexting because I found out via this girl sending me screenshots, with this random woman that added him on Snapchat. We moved past it and seriously nothing has happened since, but last night she added him on Snap again and he said he wanted to add her back just to troll him. I had smoked a lot and he was giving me examples I thought were funny. He said he was gonna say, "How's the new year, still trying to get guys that are taken?" And just generally spamming prove it when she said that she wanted him or whatever. I don't remember all the examples but they were all funny and okay to me. I hear nothing of it, then she adds me again and I say haha, oh she added me again. He instantly panics a bit like saying I'll block her right now, IDCL, do whatever you want, just say it. And I'm like, why are you freaking out? Why would you have to block her? That's a bit Seuss like, thought you were just trolling her. Like we agreed nothing you wouldn't want me to say to a guy. And he said, I might have gone a bit too far now that you say that. Even though we had actually agreed boundaries since this happened before, and that's why I agreed, because I trusted him to do that if he so wanted. But then she sent me a message and he demanded to see it or at least see me open it. I deducted that he had gone too far, but not sure how far is too far to him, and she has sent me screenshots before, so it's probably that, right? I feel like if I open it and it's messed up it's kind of on me for agreeing, but I also feel like you're a grown adult and should know the difference between trolling and just leading someone on, full on sexting. Too long did not read. Boyfriend said he would troll a girl who has sexted with him before and I agreed. When she texts me suddenly I shouldn't look at the messages without him. Hey, your boyfriend absolutely cheats on you. How are people this naive? How many red flags does this guy need to wave directly in your face before you kick his cheating ass out? Just in your little story therefore that I can see, and I know people smarter than me could probably pick out more. Run, girl, for the love of God, run away. He is obviously not faithful to you. Leave him. He's 100% sexting her for real, if not doing worse. None of this is your fault. He's a dirtbag. He a loser. Today I fucked up by telling my husband I do not love him unconditionally. Today I fucked up by telling my husband I do not love him unconditionally. I will not go into all the extensive details about our relationship. But we have been fighting a lot for several months, like daily. Yesterday he demanded I give him my unconditional love. I was flabbergasted. My mouth literally open. I just couldn't believe this man who uses the threat of divorce on regular basis. Calls me horrible names and other mean things on at least weekly. Has physically hurt me. Would even say such a thing. I told him that I don't even think I am capable of unconditionally loving another person. My love absolutely has conditions, and honestly you have pushed me to the edge. I told him at this point in our marriage, I am physically stuck here. I am not even sure if I love you anymore. It hurt a lot to say that, but it is the truth. I feel really empty inside. I am at work and don't feel like going home. I feel like sleeping in my car all evening. Too long did not read. I don't know if I love my husband. Sounds like your marriage hasn't been working for quite some time. Maybe it's time to make it official. It's 100% healthy to have conditions and boundaries on your love for somebody else. If my wife hurt my children, that would be a boundary for me. If I found out she had been repeatedly unfaithful. If she was violently or verbally aggressive with me. All of these things would become boundaries to my love. And, not that it is for me to judge, but it doesn't sound like your husband loves you unconditionally. Or even has respect for you as a person. I think the only fuck up here would be not using this opportunity to seek some help, whether that is counseling in your marriage, or leaving for your own well-being. This may well actually be a gift. This is why I don't believe in unconditional love. When love is expected rather than freely given or used like chains to bind, that's not love to me. I hope you can get to a better place. Today I fucked up by getting a little too eager with my new bidet. A few days ago, I developed a little friend on my asshole out of nowhere, and it was making my life very uncomfortable. I itched, it hurt to sit, and it was quite difficult to wipe after shitting. Last night, I decided it was time to purchase a bidet since I had used my friend's, actual friend, not a hemorrhoid, and found it to be very useful. I hooked it up to my toilet quite easily and sat down. I turned the dial ever so slightly so as not to hurt myself, and it actually worked extremely well. I then realized I actually needed to shit, so I did the deed. After my bowels were evacuated, I reached down and, in my excitement to finally own this magnificent piece of technology, I bumped the dial a little too fast. Somehow, the bum wash turned all the way on, and a high-pressure stream of water sprayed my asshole. I quickly turned off the bidet, looked down into the bowl, and it was a dark red. As you may have guessed, my bidet ruptured the hemorrhoid that had been giving me grief for the past few days, and it was bleeding profusely. As many wads of toilet paper that I wiped it with, it still wouldn't stop it. Finally, I decided to hop in the shower, and I washed it by hand, which seemed to stop the bleeding. It's not completely healed because I've needed to shit twice since then, and it's opened back up both times. Luckily, with this most recent one, I was able to clean up with the bidet and toilet paper and stop the bleeding. I'm just concerned because I have to go back to work tomorrow, and I'm not looking forward to sitting in the office with a bloody asshole. On the plus side, the hemorrhoid seems to have gone down. Too long did not read. Pressure washed my hemorrhoid and it bled profusely. Prep H witch hazel wipes. Press against hemorrhoid until bleeding stops. Use some non-stick gauze if it continues to ooze. Don't scrub at it. Did you look before turning on the water? It could have been the poop that did it. I had a bleeding hemorrhoid once, wiped it with toilet paper soaked in rubbing alcohol because my genius brain at the time thought it was the sanitary thing to do. Damn near passed out when I wiped. Witch hazel is your best friend. What a terrible day to have eyes. My brother had to use his fiancée's maxi pads after he had a boil near his ass lanced. Today I fucked up by role-playing with my partner. It was almost midnight and my F22 sister, F29, who I share a house with, let me know that she had to go to a friend's really quickly. My partner and I took this as a chance to do some role-play that we wanted to do. I was the sub first and then I was the dom. We were doing a student-professor roleplay and I was the professor. Our role-play scenarios lasted 2 hours and just as my partner was about to cum they covered their mouth. I was thinking that it was just part of their character so I continued talking to them. Are you going to cum for miss, my last name? Over and over again and then they said that they came for me, and it was over. Then my partner asked me, is sister's name, home? And I was like no? I didn't hear the door but my partner said they did hear. So I start dying inside and I go to check my sister's location, we share for safety. Sure enough her location says she's 0 miles away. So I think okay, maybe she's still in her car and so I check the security camera. Nope, she was walking up to the door 4 minutes ago while I was railing my partner fully in character. One thing about my sister is that she has very insanely good hearing. Plus we were on the floor right by my door that also has a gap under. So it would be a miracle if she didn't hear anything. I'm sure that she heard and I want to bury myself in the backyard and never face her. Her view of me as her innocent little sister is probably tarnished. Too long did not read. Decided to roleplay while my sister was out. She came home and she probably heard just enough for me to want to die. Update. I texted her, if you heard anything cray when you came home I'm sorry. Today she responded, it's okay, are you alright? And she's been acting normal around me and having other convo so I think we're good but I'm still a bit embarrassed lol. Her view of me as her innocent little sister is probably tarnished. I would guess she already knew you weren't that innocent. People trying to sneakily play with a partner are never really as sneaky as they think. Your sister knows your role. I put on my robe and wizard hat. This is hilarious, really. Don't be embarrassed. You knew she was making a quick run, and yet you were able to have a 2-hour session? How? You. Hey professor, I'm getting a D in your class, what can I do? Him. You can take D's nuts in your mouth. Him. I'm sorry I was late to class. You. Not yet you aren't, but you will be. I'll teach you to cum on time. Maybe 30 minutes. But 2 hours? Everyone fucks. Can we stop pretending we are not? Seriously, tabooing sex is one of the most moronic things you can do in 2023.